stillness of night that Jacob found himself on the brink of his breakthrough. According to verse 24, Jacob's breakthrough occurred at daybreak. Jacob wrestled with the Lord all night long, but he did not receive his breakthrough until the break of day. That's what the songwriter meant, and that's what the choir was singing about a moment ago when they sang, "Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning." Joy comes. The breakthrough comes at daybreak. He struggled all night long. And my sisters and brothers, spiritual breakthroughs don't happen in a simple kind of way. They involve struggle. Are you willing to struggle to achieve your breakthrough? The great African-American freedom writer, freedom fighter, Frederick Douglass, told us without a struggle, there can be no progress. Jacob wrestled all night long with the angel of the Lord who represented the very presence of God. But you know, this wasn't Jacob's first nighttime encounter with the Lord. Don't you remember that Jacob was well acquainted with the Lord, and he had a previous encounter in a dream where he saw a ladder descending from heaven and angels going up and down that ladder. That experience prompted our African-American ancestors to compose that great old spiritual, "We are climbing Jacob's ladder." Every round goes higher and higher. That dream provided an earlier spiritual breakthrough for Jacob. However, when Jacob arrived at Peniel, he was in need of a new spiritual breakthrough. I know that you know the Lord, but every now and then you need a fresh new breakthrough of the Spirit. We can't just stay where we are and become spiritually stagnant. If we want to grow spiritually, we need the experience of struggle that brings about new and fresh breakthroughs. And so Jacob wrestled with the Lord. He wrestled with his conscience. He wrestled with the sin in his life. He wrestled with his memories of being dishonest and corrupt, memories that took him all the way back to his mother's womb, where he first struggled with his twin brother Esau, to the extent that he came into the world gripping Esau's ankle as if he was a TV wrestler using some kind of wrestling hold. Jacob struggled with his conscience. He struggled with the fact that he was guilty of tricking his brother out of his birthright and had conned his father out of the blessing. Now, on this night at Peniel, Jacob had to confront the fact that he had been a two-bit, slim, cheating, conniving, no-good hustler, and that his misdeeds of the past were coming back to haunt him. His brother was now just around the corner and no doubt had paid back on his mind. Jacob had to now struggle with the consequences of sin in his life. Jacob had to confront his own denial at Peniel. Some of us find ourselves in a struggle because of our own propensity to sin. The Bible tells us that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yes, some of us got some stuff going on. Some of us got some dirt and grime that needs to be extricated from our lives. Some of us are going around with a sense of guilt because of past sins that we haven't had resolved yet within our consciences. My sisters and brothers, a struggle. It's not against human beings, but it is a spiritual warfare waged in the battlefields of our souls. A struggle against sinful compulsions and addictions. A struggle to determine if our lives will belong to God or if they will belong to the evil one. As they struggled all night into the wee hours of the morning, the angel of the Lord struck Jacob in the hip to end the struggle. This leads us to our very first of 3 points in this sermon. Sisters and brothers, sometimes for there to be a breakthrough, God must break you. Are you willing to be broken by God? You remember how the Lord spoke to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, go down to the potter's house and there I will give you my message. And Jeremiah went down to the potter's house and saw him working at the wheel. Jeremiah noticed that the pot that the potter was shaping from the clay was marred in his hand. So the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as seemed best to him. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah saying, O house of Israel, can I not do with you as this potter does? Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, O house of Israel. Sometimes we need to be broken and reshaped. We need to be broken and remolded by God. In our hours of need, we are challenged to dig deep into the depths of our hearts and call forth the words of that great prayer hymn. Have thine own way, Lord. Have thine own way. Thou art the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and make me after thy will. While I am waiting, yielded and still. Lord, break us from selfishness. Break us from seeking to have our own way. Break us from our overblown egos and feelings of self-importance. Break us from the hurting words we use and inconsiderate actions we do. Break us from deceit and hypocrisy. Break us from wavering faith and a spirit of defeatism. Break us from negativity and meanness. Break us from shallowness and from gossip. Yes, my sisters and brothers, from Jacob's story, we learn that spiritual breakthroughs, if they're really breakthroughs, they break us. This is apparent in verse 29 when, secondly, we learn from this story